Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Ballparks podcast. And thank you so much for being with us until where we are now. Before I continue, I just want to pay a tribute to the late Raila Amolo Odinga. May you rest in peace. And you made an impact to us. We really loved you and you really made us very vocal. You gave us a multi-partyism democracy, so we'll never forget you. And with that, I want to tell you that we are back. Today's Ronnie, what the fuck? Ronnie, it's something that moved.
It's not here. I think it's more of upstairs.
Okay. Today's topic will be very interesting. We're talking about the World Cup qualifiers. And before we talk about it, my name is Mwende, and I'm the only girl in the podcast, and I let my bestie introduce himself and the rest
and others.
and others.
So it's Pratasik, the melanin god. As per always, Arsenal took on top of the table. So peace, peace.
Top of the table. Sema jina yako ama step.
Oh, Linus.
Oh, okay.
Nitafunga ndo nitusi hao watu.
And my name is Linus or Linus. And Manchester United is my business. And this week, I don't know. Much talk about.
I am Ace and the youngest here, but the wisest because they have questionable decisions, but you can always rely on me to pump knowledge.
Let me just laugh.
Pump knowledge into the empty heads.
Actually, he's the one with the empty head, but
You're not
That's not possible.
let's continue. We are talking about the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, CONMEBOL. So, Prats. We'll start with Prats.
World Cup qualifiers, I think for me, I've been following the African ones and it's really interesting. First of all, what caught my eye is seeing Cape Verde qualify. This is their first time. I wish Kenya would be in that kind of position. I was rooting for Uganda because there's a moment they were number 2. At least they would have gotten to the knockout, at least play the knockout rounds. But unfortunately, they didn't. They ended up losing that game. Was it Senegal? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So and it's quite unfortunate that Kenya we were battered. We were battered.
Like no one's business.
Yeah, we were totally absent in that game. I don't know. I think maybe it was because of the state of the pitch. We have better pitches in Kenya than Ivory Coast. Just my thoughts. Or the stadium they chose to play at was not as per the standard we are used to. Kasarani right now to call international standards. So Ivory Coast, up your game. So it was unfortunate we lost that game. Regardless whether we lost or won that game, we wouldn't have qualified. But at least we are seeing some very interesting youngsters coming through and getting the experience they need to compete in the international stage, like Mansour.
Mansour.
He packed Ahmad Diallo all the way from that small team. But we will not say that right now. So it's interesting to see the kind of teams that have already qualified. Egypt, Mo Salah was amazing, helping them qualify. Senegal got there. So it was really interesting for me to see. And from the run of the games that I watched in the qualifiers, it makes you really excited on what AFCON has to offer this year. So AFCON will also be very, very, very interesting.
Yeah. I really can't wait.
For me, I'm looking at the teams that qualified. We have the likes of
Nigeria,
South Africa,
Nigeria,
the likes of Nigeria,
Cote d'Ivoire.
Nigeria, they're more going to play playoffs. We have teams like Morocco. We have Cape Verde. We have Egypt. And I'm looking at these teams and I'm wondering,
why are you not saying Cote d'Ivoire?
Cote d'Ivoire, okay. Because they beat us. That's why. Anyway, it's more of I'm wondering, out of these teams, which one do you think, if they're given a good European team, they're going to get out of the group stages? Do you see any team live in the group stages? Are there some players that you have identified that you feel these players, these are teams that, hey, maybe when World Cup comes in 2026, it will be like, let's say, we can see this team going up to maybe the round of 16. Uh,
For me, South Sudan.
In the World Cup?
They'll be
I think
out. They'll be
yeah,
out.
I don't think they will manage.
Yeah.
Personally, Morocco was exceptional. They lost 0 games. They drew 0. They had like the perfect record in the qualifiers. And also they only conceded like two goals.
goals.
So they have an amazing record. And last year World Cup, I think they went farthest. Was it quarters or semis?
They even
something?
beat
Portugal, yeah. So
they were disqualified by, was it France?
I think so, yeah, because they beat Portugal to qualify for I think the semis.
It's very beautiful to hear Prats talking about Morocco. For me, I've always rooted for Morocco, even when we beat them, and even with the AFCON coming. For me, I'm Team Morocco. But hearing Prats talking about it, it's blissful. It's blissful.
Because I'm not a fan, but at least they
But
have the chance.
They have the chance. Yeah.
Senegal has a good team, but
Same to Cote d'Ivoire
they've not
and
gelled.
Egypt.
Yeah, Ivory Coast also has a. By the way, Ivory Coast, they have a good squad.
They really have a very, very good squad.
They
For
kind of
me,
go far in the
yeah.
competition.
And I hope they go far this time around because it was very amazing on how they won the AFCON 2023, showing that they can do it. So for me, with the World Cup and also the AFCON 2025, I'm really, really supporting Cote d'Ivoire for me, and Morocco and Senegal. Those are my two teams. But also Nigeria, I was looking at the stats, and you're looking at Victor Osimhen. Oh my God.
But if they qualify, they might
If they
not.
qualify, yeah, they might not. But you see, like with him, how he, tackles the ball, and it's quite good. You see, African players, literally, we really, really have the talent to go far if only the training is done right, and the opportunities are there. So unfortunately, Kenya were not able to qualify, but there's always a next time.
For me, I'm thinking South Africa. The way they had a larger percentage of their squad is homegrown players. By the way, they don't have a lot of players playing in the European leagues, the American leagues. They are homegrown players. I think it's one of the best African leagues. So they are good players, and their marketing is top notch. FKF should, learn from that. Their television rights, their marketing, it's a good league, and you can see it from the players they have in their national team, because that is a depiction of an African team, as opposed to some that have a majority of players like Ghana. They are literally going for players who couldn't cut it in the European teams. Kina Edin Ketia, some of them couldn't cut it for the European teams, but then they are taking them back on the basis of ancestry. But the South Africans, they have their own homegrown players who are performing well, and I think they can go far.
It's a labda rugby.
You have introduced a very nice topic that maybe I would like the panel to also discuss on. It's more of we have a lot of players, especially within the western part of the Africa, whereby you find most of those countries, they're trying to go get the players who have just ancestry that relates to them. That's the people they're trying to go and get, rather than the people who are majorly maybe born in Nigeria, somebody maybe whose first parents was born in Nigeria or something like that. You find somebody going for, oh, your mother is white, your dad is Nigerian, he migrated there like a lot of years ago. You're born in maybe England, you're not even born in Africa. What do you think about that? Should we really prioritize such kind of recruiting players that, yes, they have African heritage, yes, they have let's say, for instance, Kenyan heritage. Like, for instance, right now in Kenya we have people like DJ Spence, who is in England. Do you feel like we should be going for such kind of players, or do you feel like Africa as a African nations should really focus so much on just taking care of the talents that they normally have within their leagues, to try and maybe promote even the leagues that are available within their countries?
Personally, I don't have a problem with those players, because it's still, you are right, because your ancestors are from that country. But then it shows that there is a huge gap, because the talent is there. Like MOFA, Michael Olunga Foundation Academy or something. It's Austin Odhiambo. He was from that academy, and you can see he's doing good things for the team now. So local development is very important. That's what I can say. If we really tapped into that talent pool, because ukienda Kesa, the high school games, you can see some very talented players, but where do they go after that? They get lost in the void. So we should capitalize on that, and then we can have teams that can compete even globally. Okay, in the continent, we can start there. We can start low. We can have a very good league if we manage. You've seen teams over the years, AFC and Gor Mahia majorly, and Tusker. They've been going to Uganda for talents, Ghana, and Kina Dansere Nkuma and such. Well, we could have cultivated our own talents who were even better, because Kina Ogam, they've come from the bottom, and you see how he's playing. He's good. So if we really used our localized talent, we can maybe even grow the kind of league that we have.
Okay, I saw an article just the other day. It was in relation to what you're trying to allude to in terms of Kenyan league being not the best within even East Africa. That Tanzania has a better league than in Kenya.
It does.
What do you think is missing?
Well, corruption, interference on team management, just to name a few. Lack of investment, poor facilities, lack of capital, such and such.
Many more.
Okay.
Because if we really had some people to invest in the league, okay, this is another topic for another day, but the sponsorship it's missing. You can see, like, it's even when SportPesa came in, that value, it really undervalues our league. But up to the point where we have a very competitive league, so that they can also see the value, we'll still struggle with that.
Okay. So, which was your favorite team during the new qualifiers, especially African team?
You said South Africa, no?
South Africa,
South Africa.
Ivory Coast, because of Ahmad Diallo.
Ahmad, yeah.
Ahmad Diallo. Mwende, for you?
Cote d'Ivoire,
Cote d'Ivoire.
Morocco second, and third Senegal.
Okay.
So for me, those two, especially those Cote d'Ivoire and Morocco, those are my top two.
Okay. I don't know. I have a feeling that Mansour is going to move out of Kenya Premier League very soon.
Mansour.
Yeah.
There's no problem with
There's
the
no
boy
problem.
finding greener pastures. Up until when we will be the greener pastures.
We're rooting. In fact, actually, I'm really rooting for him to get out. The way Ogam did, and you're looking at the likes of, look at Olunga, he's really succeeding where he is. Marcelo is succeeding where he is. Ogam, I know he's going to be there. Right now, I was looking at Celta. Aldrin Kibet is doing wonders.
You've seen
to
the
a
levels
point.
of PR.
Have you seen the level?
Under
They've been
19.
putting Kale songs.
It's
on
like
his,
he's
you
the
understand?
poster
He's a
boy
star.
of Celta Vigo.
Literally. So for me, if I'm to hear a team like Arsenal is taking Mansour, I'd be so happy for him, because
He's
France,
19.
please back me
That's
up.
a fetch.
He is 19, you know that.
He's 19.
He's
very
good.
young.
I just don't want him to ruin his talent by going to
Excuse you.
borderline.
Anyway,
bad teams.
you're done with the borderline disorder with your team, and Amorim needs therapy. We have Chiromo here. Anyway, so for me, I'd really be rooting for him to go where he's valued, and the greener pastures. And even if it means taking all the players from KPL, imagine, so be it, until we really invest in ourselves, we invest in our players, because you find that when during the Chan 2024, these boys really outdid themselves, and after that, I'm not hearing any of them anymore after Harambee Stars. So for me, I really, really root for them. Until then, what you've just said, what South Africa is doing, why can't Kenya do that? Right now, I've seen the president has put, there's a president's league or something, putting that money. Oh, I wish that money has been invested to the players and into the marketing and everything. But we don't know. Let's just wait and see. Is it too soon? Is it too late? We're yet to find out.
It's
Okay.
never too late. So long as you
That
are
also
alive, you
brings us
can.
to a very interesting topic. There is always these things that I always see, especially with politicians, whereby they set up some money somewhere. They come and say, okay, this you're going to do like there was a cup for governor, Sakadia's cup. I think there was one such
It is
kind of
still
things.
there.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Do you think that's the right investment, the right way to go about it when it comes to the investment? If you're saying investment is a problem, or do you feel we should be able to have a pool of money whereby we can say we are subsidizing some of the things that these guys are using so that we grow the legal? What do you feel?
Because for me, I think it's just all about the structure. Because first of all, even when it comes to the money that was promised to the players, we're not sure if they got the money. Did they get it in full? And also, I think it's just all about investment and the channels. FKF, the federation, still has a lot of loopholes. They've not worked that, especially in the last 10 years. They're just trying to do that right now and getting a bit of more sponsorships, but it's still a lot. They just it's like a complete reshuffle and just start from the ground down, as the same way we are starting with the Olunga federations and all that. Yeah, so that's a whole different.
So there's a lot of things we are not doing right yet. There is a lot
We are
of
not doing anything right so far.